Welcome back to Teenage Nightmares, the place that drags you deeper into the world of the unknown. Tonight's tale takes us back to the year 1977, where Dale recounts the chilling story of how he tracked down one of the most notorious serial killers of his time. So sit back, grab your headphones, and enjoy another Teenage Nightmares original, Catching a Killer. Hello, my name is Dale. I'm a retired detective, and tonight, I want to tell you about the case that changed my life forever. It was 1977, and I was climbing the ranks, getting noticed, and the chief of our department decided to assign me a murder case. At the time, I thought it was just another homicide, but if only I'd known, it was far from simple. I arrived at the scene. The victim was a young male, in his mid-20s, with no ID on him. But that wasn't what made this homicide stand out. What made it unusual was the fact that the victim was missing both pinky fingers and the tip of his tongue. I'd seen my fair share of sickos in this line of work, but taking those specific parts, that was something different. And as I'd soon learn, it was only the first of many strange signs. The next night, while I was at the department going through files, I noticed a small red envelope sitting on my desk. Dear Detective Bannister, that's my last name, by the way, for context. The letter continued. I know you've been assigned to my work. And by work, I mean my victims. Yes, that's plural. There are more bodies out there. And there will be more to come. But I'm feeling generous. So I have an offer for you. If you get my riddle published in the local paper, I'll give you the location of one of the victims. You can put their soul to rest. I'll be watching for it. You have 1 week. And this is what the riddle said. Riddle. In silence I sleep beneath cold stone, where names fade fast and roots have grown. 2 gates I guard, both rusted and wide, but only one will show who died. Find the angel who weeps with wings of black, and dig where shadows never look back. The sick freak was playing games, giving me clues through riddles like it was all some twisted scavenger hunt. He was having fun at the expense of innocent lives, and according to him, this wasn't his first kill. He'd already taken multiple lives by the time that letter landed on my desk. So I didn't have time to second guess. I had to act fast before he added more bodies to his list. I drove out to the only cemetery in the area known for its old angelic statues. It was just past 11 p.m. and I was alone. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little creeped out. Truth is, I hate cemeteries. When I was a kid, my dad accidentally left me at one. Ever since then, I've had a hard time being around the dead, especially alone. But it came with the job. And after a while, nothing in that line of work really shocked you. So in I went. About 30 minutes in, I found a statue that matched the riddle. An angel, weathered by time, with what looked like blackened wings. Right in front of it, a grave that looked disturbed. I spotted a shovel leaning against a nearby headstone, maybe left there on purpose. I didn't think. I just started to dig. After about 15 minutes of digging, my shovel hit something. It was a hand, pale and cold. Looked like it might have belonged to a woman, and I'd later find out it did. She was a runaway teen from Wisconsin, probably came to Chicago chasing dreams, hoping for something better. Instead, she found a horrible death. It's cases like hers that stick with you, the ones that keep you up at night long after the paperwork's done. But it was my job to bring her justice. So, I bagged the evidence and made my way back to the department. I dropped off the evidence and headed home for the night. It was around 2 a.m. when the phone rang. I sat up, still half asleep, and picked up. Hello, I mumbled. No one answered, just heavy breathing on the other end, slow, steady, and deliberate. I waited, then said hello again. Nothing, just more breathing. Eventually, I got fed up and hung up, and went back to bed, undisturbed, at least for the moment. The next day, all hell broke loose at the office. The freak had taken the captain's daughter. She was only 13 years old. We had every active member of the force on this case. Rookies, vets, even a few old-timers came out of retirement to help. I made her my top priority. Nothing else mattered. I just wanted to find that little girl. A few hours later, we finally caught a break. The phone rang. He asked for me by name. I picked up. What do you want? I asked. His voice was calm and smug. He said he wanted people to know his name. That's when it hit me. This wasn't just about murder. He was trying to make a name for himself. All this horror, all this death, just so people would notice him. Pathetic. That's what I thought. But I stayed professional. Told him I'd do whatever he wanted, if he gave back little Mary Beth. I even lied, told him I understood him, to which he said he knew I would. So I played into his ego, fed it just enough to get what I needed. He agreed to a swap, Mary Beth for a live news camera. Back then, that meant calling in one of the major stations in Chicago. We didn't have a choice. We got it set up. I went to the meetup spot alone. He said if there were any other cops, he'd do something we'd all regret. And honestly, we weren't about to risk Mary Beth's life. I waited there for about 30 minutes before a beige work van pulled up. I knew it was him. Had to be. He parked right next to me. I climbed out of the news van with the camera, just like we agreed. As soon as I handed it over, his whole demeanor changed. His eyes lit up like a kid on Christmas morning. I shouted at him, "Where's Mary Beth?" He didn't say a word, just pointed to the back of his van while he fed his ego into that camera. I opened the doors, and what I saw, I'll never forget. She was there, Mary Beth, but in pieces, tied up in different bags throughout the van. I stumbled back and vomited. And that freak, he filmed it while he laughed. I tried to stay calm. I really did. But I snapped. Right before I pulled the trigger, I told him the truth. The camera is not live. The look on his face was priceless. He looked broken. And I told him one more thing. I'm going to burn your ID and burn your body. No one will ever know your name. Then I did it. I torched him. Torched everything. Made sure he was forgotten. We're supposed to bring people like that in. Lock them up. Let the courts decide. But he didn't deserve that. I told the captain the van was already on fire when I got there. But the guilt caught up with me. I couldn't hide what happened to his daughter. I told him everything, even about the freak. Thought he'd be angry, but he just nodded and said, "Good. It's been 47 years. I'm 75 now, and that was the worst day of my life. Feels good to finally get it off my chest."